Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us for another Plastering Show Live with Chris Frediani. This is the Plastering Show Live 2, if you like, as we did one of these back in December. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to your host this evening, which is, of course, Chris Frediani.
Good evening. I'm, as Mark said, Chris Frediani, and tonight I'm your host for the Plastering Show Live. We got some guests with us tonight, and for the next hour, we've got 19 chances to win some fantastic prizes. But first, let me introduce you to my guests. First of all, we got Mr. Paul Maligni. Paul, you've joined us on the first live event many months ago. Thanks for coming back, and remind everyone who you are and what do you do, Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul, and yeah, I work for British Gypsum. I'm their plaster support manager. So basically, I look after the commercial side for British Gypsum. So the big commercial projects I look after up and down the country with my colleagues. So yeah.
Thank you, Paul. And we've got Mr. Andy Willoughby. Andy, now I know Andy from DIY SOS. Andy, tell us where you're from and a little bit about your plastering career. How long have you been plastering?
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm from Lincoln. I've been plastering 35 years. I don't know, I've got a little firm in Lincoln with me and my son, and a little one on the way who's only one.
What's his name? What's his name?
Eventually.
What? Well, that's Andy from Lincoln. And last but not least, we got Mr. Mark Hardman. Good evening, Mark. How
Good evening, Chris. Thanks for having me on the show.
Can you let us know where you're from and what aspects of plastering is Mark into? Because I know you're a little bit special up in your neck of the woods, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't say special.
Oh, you are. Come on. Where are you from?
I'm from a little place called Norley in mid Cheshire. I've been plastering for full time since 1981.
Yeah.
And there's not much I won't tackle, to be perfectly honest. Oh, apart from the modern day renders, I tend to shy away from those. I let the lads with all the spray machines attack all that sort of business.
We'll be talking about them later on. We will.
Yeah.
Right, Andy, what have you been up to lately? What sort of projects has Andy been tackling at the moment?
Me, I've had quite a few extensions on just lately. I've been renovating a house for 2 doctors just outside Lincoln.
And what you've been using? What materials have you been using on these? Sand and cement? You've been.
A lot of it's been dot and dab. And then skim. And like I say, we've just obviously been doing Tom's house. We've just tried the pure finish.
All right, yeah. How'd you get on with that?
Well, I like that. That was nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice. I'd used it before, obviously. Well, when B&Q used to have it, and it used to run out of date a little bit, so they used to sell it cheap to me.
Yeah, all right.
But it's nice because it sets nice as well.
Yeah.
Tom was a little bit dubious about it because it's different. But like I say, once got the hang of it, like you're saying, it seems to flatten off really nice. So even I enjoyed that. I've had a job out at Nottingham, same again there, renovating a house.
You've been hopping around on domestics.
Yeah, I've been on domestics. I've done a bit on the sites as well, which not a great fan.
No,
to be honest.
No.
Like I say, because you can't win. There's one.
You're a number. You're a number. Yeah.
And they're getting so keen, like with checking everything with a torch and everything. And like I say,
but sorry to butt in. They're checking it at the end when you're putting 3-4 mil of skimming on it. They're not checking it. The walls going up, the boards going on, are they? Do you know what I mean?
No.
Sorry, that's my personal opinion. And Paul, you jump in whenever you want, lads. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? All this putting lights across walls and that, Paul. I mean,
yeah, it's difficult. I mean, what we have on the commercial side more now is we have Q&As. So a Q&A means that when an area is boarded, the contractor that we deal with will go in and sign it off that it's ready for plastering.
Yeah.
And
good.
When we see the lights, there's a British standard that they work to, and that's what we say. If they want to go in above and beyond, it's very difficult for plasterers. Casting light will show anything.
Well, if you got an 8x4 sheet of MDF, yeah, made in a factory to a, you know, no, put hair on it and shine a light across it, it will create a shadow. I've done it. It will. It really will. So, you know, I feel for you there, Andy, on site. But
the
talking
thing
about
is,
what, yes, go on.
if you say anything, you're creating a wave, and then obviously you're a trouble causer. I mean, obviously you get.
Yeah, but you're just protecting your work, aren't you? Surely.
I mean, at first you sort of like, you don't check, but like then when you start checking it and you notice the joists are bendy and the boards, because they had a bit of an issue with some of the boards weren't straight. Of course, then he's checking it, but then you start to check it, but you see it like all the squiggle lines everywhere over the whole of the house. But obviously, you get docked for that, which it's wrong, because it's us that have to pay for it, even though you've got like a real low price for it.
So that site work, Mark, you're not on site. So am I right in saying that you're more your domestic?
Yeah, I have domestic and a lot of small builders that I do work for.
Yeah. What have you been up to the last sort of 12 months?
I bobbed back to Duke of Westminster's earlier in the week, where we've been putting line work back into one of his properties.
Right.
He's been having damp issues in various cottages throughout these villages, and it's his father really. He started off with the injection method, and then they were going through the osmosis, and the properties have gone full circle. He decided that lime render up the walls is a far better product.
Let it breathe.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's
take it on, deal with it, and let it out.
It's giving the cottages a new lease of life, and it's better for the residents living in it and everything.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, because I mean, you know, we're you know we got Paul in the corner down the bottom there. Big British Gypsum. I'm domestic myself, by the way. You know, I've been I'm actually, funny enough, been doing a lime project last 3 weeks myself. Loved it. It's good for the youngsters to get on the line.
Oh, definitely.
Paul, we all know traditional plasterer, now doing commercial in a big way. Paul, is that right?
Yeah. I mean,
So what sort of products have you been on?
The big ones at the moment, we've got a big one by Buckingham Palace that we're working on there. Huge development. Camden Town Hall again, another huge development. Still ongoing with all our flannel stores, which are using Dura finishes to finish. Yeah, which is probably the most exciting one. You know, in the form that you can use plaster as a finish coat. It doesn't have to have paint.
Right.
And they are incredible stores. The one in Belfast is stunning.
Yeah.
It's just a different take on using the material for not just a carrier of a paint. Now it can be a standalone product. So, well,
funny enough, as we're talking, right, I'm getting some questions popping up here. I'm going to read some of these questions out to you guys, because I know, you know, between us there's over 100 years here, right? So we got one from Andy, not you, this Andy, right? How do you stop hairline cracks appearing, whether it's skimming on plasterboard or uni-bonded walls in domestic properties? And in brackets, obviously, the central heating is turned off. So he's struggling with hairline. Now, I would say it's hairline cracks to me, shrinkage.
Yeah.
All right.
I've just had this.
Right. Go on then. Give us your take on that.
Because he used a steam stripper, and obviously it's popped the skimming off.
Yes.
But then it doesn't matter how much you PVA it. Once it gets through the PVA, it shrinks and you get hairline cracks everywhere. So what I was, it just drying out. So what I was tending to do was like put some 4-inch scrim across it, PVA it, 4-inch scrim, feather it, let it set, and then PVA it again. And then that seemed to stop it.
But what have you got then? You've got a crack that you're preparing prior to skimming, so you can actually see this. What about if you had a painted wall, looks fine, you glued it, you skimmed it, and then you're getting hairline cracks? So I think that's what he's asking. Anything?
You can't see what isn't there, Chris. Really, can you? So that's a problem with that issue. Unless you can see it with the naked eye, you're not going to know that it's going to pop up once you've skimmed, is it really?
I'm with you on that one, because if you've got a wall and it's a block wall and it's had a doorway and they've blocked up in stud work, and it's been skimmed and it's not scrimmed, but you don't know this because you're just now over skimming. So it's all down basically to what you're skimming on, isn't it? You don't know. If you don't know, you can't. So
exactly.
I'm sorry about that, Andy, but you really got to do the old tap test.
Yeah.
If in doubt, like Andy said, scrim it. Yeah. We got one from Dan, and Dan asks, what would you recommend to someone that wants to remove Artex? Personally, my answer is don't.
Don't.
Chip prime it and over skim it. All day long. Leave it. Don't even attempt to strip it. And we got one from Graham. Now this is an interesting one. How do you seal finished plaster to look like suede? I mean, is that suede in colour? Because you're never going to get the furriness of suede, are you? So I think that's a decorating question for our colleagues on the decorating show.
Where they've made it like suede. I skimmed it. He was really happy with it.
Yeah.
Then they put the paint on really thick, and then it looked like suede.
Yeah.
Then he said my plastering was rubbish. I thought, sweet, nice.
Yeah, I don't. There's no way you can really create that. So
you can't, can you? I mean, how can you create suede? You know, you got plaster, you got suede. It's like no.
I think it's more of a decorative thing. You know,
I think it's got to be decoration, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the Venetian stuff and the lads that do micro cement can do an awful lot. So probably look on some what they can do with the oxidation and stuff.
Yeah. And the last one's from Pete. Here we go. This will keep us busy for an hour. Yeah. What nagging injuries do the panel suffer with, and what does everyone do to ease the aches and pains of the job? Well, I'm trying to use my head to ease the pains.
Yeah.
That's me personally, but I mean, what do you do, boys? Come on.
As you get older, delegate.
Yeah, come on, Mark.
As you get older, delegate, because your body can't keep up with how you used to work when you were 20 or 30. It can't.
We were having this conversation earlier on, offline sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all guilty of it. You just learn your trade, and you're banging the meters out, and then as we sort of get to our late 40s, 50s, and you look around, you think you just can't keep it up, can you, Paul? You see lads on site every day, don't you? And what's your advice to them?
You know, if you plan your work and you think, especially on the big commercial stuff I do, you know, they're not always under as much pressure. So just think and plan your work correctly. I understand that they're rushing around and they're earning good money at the moment. But like you said, we've all got aches and pains. You know, I go running every day to clear the head before I start work, normally about 5 o'clock, have a bit of a run just to try and warm myself up. But I do think it's thinking ahead as well. It's not just where you are now, you know, think ahead about what you want to do as well. And, you know, we see so many plasterers with carpal tunnel, elbows, shoulder injuries. There is websites now and stuff that can, you know, show you tricks to get your body and, you know, your joints a lot more flexible and a lot more easier to use. So nowadays there's a lot of stuff online that you can go and look at that'll help you with your injuries, or hopefully deter any injuries you can get.
When you think about it, you drive to work, however long your journey is, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. You get out, paddle, water, and then before you know it, you're flat out, aren't you? It's not like, you know, like an athlete will get out and do a warm up, won't they? Do you know what I mean? And you can't do that for, let's say you're going to get into your 60s plastering. It's a long old time, isn't it, to be punching the floor, punching the ceiling. You've got to start thinking about it.
Yeah, you've got a lot of. Sorry, Mark. I was going to say you've got a lot of tips, like with, you know, I always talk. You've got tennis elbow. You put tape a 2p coin to your elbow, and you know, stuff like that. You learn up from my old plasterers. But now there's so many things. There's so many sites you can go on that will teach you just a 10, 15 minute. You know, get your arms, get your wrists, get your back. You know, back especially.
Oh, you've only got one. You've only.
Yeah.
When I see lads with 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags of multi-finish walking, I think to myself, once your back's gone, that's it. You've only got one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can buy. If you think you try, you get another one. Once your back's gone, you haven't got another one.
It's also a matter of using. Sorry, guys. It's also a matter of using the tools and the technology available today as well to the best of your advantage as well, though, Chris, isn't it?
Funny you should bring that up. What do we all think about the speed skims? Because you just led me into a good one there. Because it's all bang, 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 trowel, elbows, wrists, and that, and then all of a sudden we're all guilty of it. We got a 3, 4, even a 6 foot plastic extension to a trowel now, isn't it? We can. So what? Come on, give us your honest opinion on them. What do you think?
If it's used correctly and at the right time, and it's going to save you a lot of work and a lot of pain, why not, Chris? Why not?
That's right. Yeah. If it can ease the body,
Definitely.
And I'm not one for pushing on the meterage, but if you can control what you've got with 3 or 4 sweeps of this 4 foot rather than lots of little trowels, then surely that's the way forward, isn't it?
Most definitely.
Gets it flatter though, doesn't it? As well,
in the right situation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some it doesn't need it. It doesn't always need it. I'm not a big fan of the plastic trowel, but I can see its advantages in the winter when the skimming's not. Do you see what I'm saying, Paul?
That's the thing is we haven't, the problem with our trade, we haven't really had new stuff to help us. All we've had is the drills. The drills, we've gone from a bath and a rake to a plunger to a drill to a cordless drill. That's been our progression. Oh, you've got the spray machines, and the spray machines are absolutely brilliant. For what they are really good. Yeah. But we're very limited on what we've had to assist us. So you've got to, if you think smarter and something's going to help you, and again, longevity.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the word. You've got to think.
Long term, isn't it? It's a career for life. It's not a game. You're not just going to do it. I mean, I think you said earlier on, Paul, if you're gonna go grabbing, have a game plan.
Yeah.
Pay the house off by the time you're 40, because you will not be a fit, straight up, tall fella at 60 if you're going to push it hard in your 20s and your 30s.
Yeah, and that's what I was always taught, was you get it when you're younger, and then you want to retire at a decent age, and you want to have time to do stuff with your family. You don't want to be working till you're 75 plus.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just caught my eye here. That has anyone used silk plaster or anything similar, Paul?
No. There is variants. There is new plasters out there that are coming to the market with different sort of things. No, I haven't used it personally. Again, there's so many different variants now, and again, this is why we say to people, that look at some of the finishes, some of the microcement, some of the techniques. They're incredible. There's some amazing stuff out there, but our plaster could be as good. So we keep an eye on some of the stuff, but I've never actually used it. I've seen it.
Is silk not a swear word for plastering?
What's that? Silk.
It's a swear word, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Eggshell.
You see them tins of paint, silk. You think, no, here we go.
No, it's just. There's a few more. I've recently used magnetic plaster. What is the actual purpose of this? Well, surely it's on the bag.
Magnetic is exactly. It takes a wall and creates a space for you to utilize it on. So pictures, schools use it, especially. We're heavily in at the moment with a lot of the educational projects, because especially for kids with phonics, if you've got young kids, you can put all the alphabetic letters on. You can use blackboard paint or whiteboard paint. You can wallpaper it. It's still magnetic. People ask us enough times as well, does it affect your Wi-Fi? No. The critical baby ward at the QE hospital, which is right next to that, where the nurses are, is all done in magnetic, and it saved them so much time on, damage and stuff. They actually use the whole space of the wall.
Right.
So
yeah.
It is brilliant. absolutely brilliant. There's some incredible stuff for magnetic as well. Some maps and stuff you can do.
Yeah. Are you a fan of that, Andy? Are you magnetic plaster?
Tom was on about, because we just renovated Tom's house, and he was on about, because obviously he's got his little baby. He was on about doing one wall in the magnetic, just like you say, for the same thing, so he could stick things on it. But obviously he changed his mind and obviously didn't do it. It's been a very stressful 4 weeks at Tom's house.
Has it?
Yeah,
mate.
So
it's just an extension of what you can do with a product. The product now that you can, like I say, and it'll grow through their lives. So as they get older and go into exams, they can use the walls for homework. Just click your things on the wall. Yeah. It's so clever. It really is.
I get it. And while we're on finishes, the pure finish and the dura finish, Paul. Yes. Is that getting out there? Are people starting to jump on it? I mean,
pure finish at the moment, especially with the active air.
Yes.
So the pure finish is, you don't have to reskim the whole lot. You only have to do the floor area, so a ceiling to get that. We've got a housing site at the moment in East Sussex that's solely going to pure finish to give their customers the benefit of that.
Yeah.
It's an incredible product, like Andy said. It's lovely to use. Dura finish, yes. I mean, these are not new products. People think they're new. They've been out for a long time.
I'm in Devon, so it takes a little while to, It
takes a little bit of time to go. But all the commercial projects, so hospitals, normally most of the corridors and airports are done with Dura finish because of it. It'll take the knock. It's so strong.
Yeah.
And we're doing projects where you can skim directly onto precast concrete with no prep. Straight on it with Dura finish.
I love Dura finish, Paul. I thought it was amazing. I did.
Yeah, it's
and Mark, you're what I call a traditional line boy, traditional plasterer, and you like this. You like the Dura finish.
I did, Chris. Yeah, the secret with Dura is you've got to get your first coat absolutely perfect.
No trail marks, nothing.
No, because if you don't, it'll telegraph through, and then you're having a pantomime of a task trying to get it down. But it was superb to use. It really was, and I was using it in the height of summer, and it was. I was getting 3 good controllable sets out of it in the height of summer. Yeah.
And Mark's just said something there. This is the thing. It's controllable. And it's so controllable and comfortable to use because you've got time on it where you're not. It's just one of those products that works amazingly well in what it's for. And once you use it, it's very difficult. Again, it's like pure to come off not using it.
Yeah.
So,
do you find, like, obviously, like with the pure finish, then is it just really designed for ceilings, or is it just as good for walls, or
no, for everything? I mean,
everything.
We've got lads now, Andy, that just solely using pure finish, so it's ideal for reed skim. It just works like a multi.
We did some reskin in the bedrooms with it last week, and it was nice because I obviously like what it's like. It's that little bit more expensive than multi but like when we worked it, it's it was a couple of £100, I think, for the pallet. But like you say, it's got a nice set on it. It sets quite well.
It's I mean, for the costing wise, which is about 20 whatever a metre. I mean, joking apart, but your customers are getting active air. They're getting, and everyone's working in their homes now, so it's a cleaner environment. It's
ticks all the boxes. Yeah. Well, whilst I got you here, are you a fan of Wonk? See, I'm down in Devon. We do a lot of renovating. I love Wonko. I love Universal Wonko. Andy, Mark,
no.
I'm not a great lover, Chris.
Why not? You got You got an old ceiling, right? You got a sheet of plasterboard in the middle that's been skinned. You got plaster and lath left and right of it. I can put a good 4 or 5 mil coat of one coat on it. I can mesh it to bring it all as one, flatten it in, and then I'll throw a little bit of multi-finish in with my one coat and get a finish on it. I haven't used bondings. I haven't used. Do you know what I'm saying? The strength of it, and it will just, to me, it will just hold everything together.
It is designed for that. A lot of people like it. The problem when you bring it up to here is it's a slightly coarser to finish. and that's probably the thing. But it is for old barns and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we can do plasterboarded ceilings and finish it with a car sponge like a lime wall mark. Exactly the same. You couldn't tell the difference.
Really?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got my Lenny right. Literally, if I said to him, plasterboarded ceilings, use NHL 3.5 on the walls, bring it out, line putty on the walls, one coat and ceiling. You couldn't tell me which was what, and I will send you just some photos to prove it. Honestly,
I've only ever used it once.
Oh,
and that was.
But you can dub out 40 mil, 50 mil, half an hour later, put it on 3 mil thick and finish it with a trowel.
I used it 30 years ago. We went on skill build. I crashed and burned on it. So I thought I don't really like that.
You're not a fan of it because
no, I've never really learned it. So that was it. I've never used it since.
Bonding or hardwall?
Oh, do you find with hardwall though? Some of the hardwall, it can be really snotty, but then some of it can be got a bit of grit in it, and then when it's gritty, it seems nice. I've used some today actually. It was all right, and it rubs up nice. Even Tom did some the other day, and he goes, "I like hardwall." I thought, yeah, right. I said, it's all right when you're rendering a house out there.
For hardwall over bonding.
Yeah, but like you say, bonding's got its for the right bits, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I used to like when you curve a ceiling. I used to like scrim it and then just use the skim and curve it out with that, let it set, leave it for a few days, then it gives a good suction when you skim it, and you get a nice curve without any sort of line down it. But I did one the other day with bonding, and I quite enjoyed that with the bonding, which I'm going to do tomorrow with bonding on a job we're going to. So a very pleasurable customer.
We did a pig farm not so long ago with one of our certified, and he used bonding 60 to curve all the rakes. Absolutely perfect.
Do you not find with the bonding, normal bonding goes off quite quick anyway, just at the minute? I know you have the faster setting bonding.
No, we not really. I mean, we haven't. We do have a. If we have any complaints with the procedure, and we do test everything, but not.
No.
The bonding 60 is just.
It's not a. No, you know what I mean. It was. I just found like with the bonding, it did seem to go off quicker.
Was it cold and you had the central heating on?
Oh no! Do you know I was at a job at the weekend and
are you sure someone it's cold? He wanted warm water just to warm his.
Oh no! He just could sit in the van or could see his mum, won't he? He watches El Dorado with mum every day, so he's
going back.
He's not going to like you for that, is he?
It's quite funny because Jane missed when we had a chat the other week. She actually missed it when you were saying how many tools I've got.
Oh, it's my fault now. It's my fault. Right,
so Tom replayed it to her.
we got some questions coming up here on the screen, sir. Trowel talk. Nella, Flexies. What do the boys think? Mark, are you a fan?
I love the flex trowels. I've tried most of them, but I've gone back to me carbon. I have. My carbon steel. I love my carbon steel. I do.
Yeah.
Do you
take that right away through?
No.
Do you take that right away through to finishing?
No, I finish off with a flex. So my shoulder's ruined, and I finish off with a flex.
Yeah.
It saves the aches and pains, and it just makes life so much easier, Chris. It really does.
And it does the job, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It certainly does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what you said, Mark. Though, so you use the tools like what you said with flexi trowels. It's easier on your body.
It does, Andy. Yeah.
When we spoke earlier, what I do is probably every 2-3 months to go see a chiropractor, and she just puts everything. She does your whole body,
aligns
your back in. It's a very pleasurable night. But but like you say with the flexes, it's less sort of pressure pushing on. And that.
Like Paul said earlier on, it's got to be longevity in it. If you're going to, this career, if you're going to have 40 odd years in this, you've got to start thinking longevity. you know,
Yeah.
and where you can pull out the 4 foot speed and start late. You know what I mean? It's you got.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, you look at that seal and you think, but you bang it on, you can use your speed skin because you know you're not going to be up and down all the time. Because years ago, as you remember, you used to have the old tins, scaffold everything out, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, I thought about this the other day. You had the old sovereign tins, got all the but like now it's kick a hop up or a drainage crate round the room, and then you sort of like it makes it easier. You can do like with the speed skim, and then just trowel the edges in, and sort of thing. But it is just use the tools there, what make your life a lot easier.
Alarm call. It's the competition. It's competition time. It's the competition to win the £600 DeWalt cordless paddle mixer. Now, Mark, can you read out the question, please? The question. Did you write it down, Mark, or would you like me to do it for you? Come on.
I didn't write it down.
You didn't write it down. Did anyone write it down apart from me?
Well, I was late. Yeah. I had a blue grit emergency.
I love your honesty, guys. I love your honesty. Right then. Right, guys, for the £600 DeWalt cordless paddle mixer, the question is, how many bags of multi-finish on a pallet? How many bags come on a pallet? That is the question. And the answer will be streamed later on. It'll be later, and it'll be a random pick, and we'll stream that later on. So we're going to move on to past jobs on site over the years. Is there any memorable jobs you got, Andrew? You're Andrew, Andy. What stands out? I know Mark has, and I know Paul has, but have you got anything? And I don't mean every job's the one that, like there must be something you've done, whether, bit restoration work or I don't know. You tell me anything that you can sort of put a tick to.
I got shown some pictures the other day, actually. And it was
black and white.
Sepia.
Yeah, I got it out. It was that manor house, what we did down in Devon. And Tom actually showed me. He said, "This is some of the best work you've ever done, Dad." That was
down. I got you down. And you worked with Tommy and Lenny.
And we did that where you walked in through the front door, and we curved it all round.
Yeah.
And Tom showed me it the other day, and he said, "Do you know what, Dad?" And when I look back at the pictures, it was amazing. Yeah, they looked really good. And that sort of thing. So apart from Tom's house, that's the best work I've just done.
What about your good self, Mark?
Oh, I've been all over everywhere. I think one that stands out the most was when I was very young, sticking Hessian scrim on.
Oh yeah.
And I heard that dreadful noise behind
it's
me.
coming.
Yeah.
I had that the other day with some self-adhesive.
Oh Lord!
You just know you don't even have to.
You know it's coming.
Yeah, you can hear it like a tsunami coming up behind you.
Yeah.
Some of the young lads nowadays won't have that privilege, but it's an awful feeling to hear your scrim peeling off behind you.
Yeah.
We did a nursing home, and it's when self-adhesive had just come out, and obviously. Do
you know what year that was? Getting back to the question, Paul, earlier on. What year was it? Come on.
What, Hessian?
No, self-adhesive scrim.
Oh, I don't know, but I can still see that big bag of Hessian scrim what they brought.
Left in the corner.
Honestly, I've never seen this big white bag of Hessian scrim, and it was when Timber Frame had just come out.
Yeah.
And we did this nursing home, and then as soon as we'd done that, he went on to self-adhesive. I was like, I don't believe it. But some guy said to me today, he says, "Oh, has that got sticky on the back, that scrim, mate?" I went, "Yeah."
And what about yourself, Paul? Memorable job.
I think, there's been a lot, truthfully, but the one that it was just before lockdown. Actually, we were on a big bank. I had to go into a bank in Carmel Road that we'd done when we was, I think it was 16. And you go in there covered in it's quite a posh bank on the Colmore Road because it was the closest one. But we were there covered in crap and dirt, and we walked in there, and people sort of looking at you a bit strange, and you're just looking at it and thinking, well, we did this. Our own plasterers did this, and it's still there. And I get to your office and stuff, but it was just a nice feeling. I'm with my team. I loved every job that I did with my team. They were, I speak to them 3-4 times a week, and anything to do with that team because it was just fun. You never really had a boring day. Whatever you were doing, it was just enjoyable, and someone would always make you laugh. So it's not necessarily about the job. Sometimes it's about who you're with as well.
That's definitely right. Yeah. Do you think that's been lost?
Not so. I mean,
or do you think we've got older? What do you know what I mean?
I think different on the sites that I work on. We've got a lot of apprentices on there now, and they're with their plasterers, and I'm getting a feeling that it's going back to they do have a laugh. They're enjoying themselves.
It was part of it, wasn't it? It was enjoyable. I used to get up and get to work early because I couldn't wait for the day to start.
You've got to have a bit of fun while you're at work. It doesn't matter whether you're a plasterer or a doctor. You've got to enjoy. You've got to enjoy your job to put the quality in, haven't you?
It's a long day, or else, isn't it?
That's right.
It's all about that. You can go in miserable because you've had a really bad day and you've got the right people around you. All of a sudden, it's not a bad day. It might be a horrible job you're doing. It might be something you really don't like. But if you've got the right group around you, you suddenly start thinking, it's not that bad. And they become part of your family because you spend so much time with them that they are your family.
So. We between us, we got a few years on the trade. What advice would you give youngsters getting into the trade? We've just said you got to have the laugh, and but let's take that a little bit further. So I'm a youngster. I'm looking at this now. What advice, Mark, would you give the youngsters of today?
Put as many feathers in your cap as you possibly can, and get as qualified as you can, because whether you leave college with one set of qualifications, keep moving because circumstances change or the trade may change. So you've got to be able to change and diversify as trends start change and diversify. That in the 40 years that I've been in the trade's changed and things have become popular and things have been outphased but during that time, your body's getting older, so you need to think about
start using that one
in life.
And
you
longevity.
need to think about qualifications and making your life easier, so you can sit back and delegate, point the fingers, or teach people how to do things, or just sit back and take life easy, But
use that one.
Yeah. 5 minutes with your head will save your hours with your hands. It really will.
But when I was 17, I was full of energy and running around and that. And Tommy stopped me one day and he said, "Right, listen to what I've got to say to you." He says, "If you wind your neck in and listen to me, I'll teach you a trade. You can earn as much money as you want." And I was like, "What's that then?" He goes, "Plastering, because you can work evenings and weekends." But that's what I've done. I listened to it. Do you see what I mean? Because you're not clocking in and out. Excuse me. There's no time limit, is there, on site? You do domestic, Andy.
Yeah.
Your hours are your hours, aren't they? As long as you can physically get the customer to let you in or go to bed, and you can push your hours as long as you want. So if you manage yourself, you can earn some decent money.
Oh yeah.
But if you use your head clever and don't push, like we were talking about earlier on, Mark, with bringing in the different tools and delegating and bringing the youngsters through training, Paul, get the youngsters in, get used, and start using your head as I'm going to say the word manager, manage yourself a little bit better. You can prolong your career in plastering, can't you? Yeah, am I right? I mean,
Hugely, I think now, we've got the younger kids of, our future thinking. They're planning ahead. I was talking to you earlier. We've got young lads now, 24, 25, that are already going for the level 3, working to the level 6, not because they want to do it now, but they may want to do it in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
They've got that qualification. They are going on all the different courses with us, they're arming themselves, they're future-proofing themselves. And, years ago, we didn't have that. Like you said, Chris, my plasterer, God rest his soul, was a lovely bloke, but advice-wise, it was just, you do this, you do that. There was no career advice. Now you've got the ability, you've got...
Listen,
you've got the FIS that are giving away 3 level 3s in April, these qualifications, jump on them. You might not need them now, and you might not ever need them, but if you've got them, they can't take them away from you. It's there. So, yeah.
Well, that's right. If you've had yourself a good, I can see Andy going this way. If you've had a good career yourself out of plastering,
what do you mean going this way?
Hang on. Whoa. Later on in life, why not put it back? You've had a good living out of plastering. Go back into teaching. Pass on your knowledge. You see what I mean? So, as Paul's saying, if you can get your qualifications when you're younger, you might not need them when you're younger. But longevity in the trade, use them later on in life.
We was just talking about it today about one of my mate's sons. He wants to come into the trade, but it's like obviously with everything, the lockdown and everything. But like Tom's just come round to that now about getting another lad with us. Take him on as apprentice. Like you say, because it may, as you do is you do slow down as you get older. And it's like washing the buckets out and stuff like that. It gets.
I'll do that all day long now. When I jump in with the lads, I'll be the labourer. Sorry, just going to jump in there. We've got a winner, Graham Shelton. He won the DeWalt paddle mixer. So well done, Graham.
Get it out of the shed.
Go and get it. Give it back. But no,
nice one, Graham.
You're right. So Tom's actually now started thinking to himself, bring someone on now.
Yeah.
Take out the beginning and the end of his plastering, so he can concentrate on the middle bit.
Yeah.
And then hopefully mate will pick it up, and then maybe bring someone on. Yeah, it's forward thinking, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
It's for the long game. It's for the long game.
And like you said, Chris, now it's quite strange that you'd go back to mixing and cleaning buckets out.
Oh yeah, I've got no problem. Yeah. What do you want me to do? I'll go swimming, mixing. But I've done it. I've done it. I've been there 7, 8 o'clock at night. I'll get another gauge on. But I've grabbed it. I've grabbed it. I got away with it. I've still got my arms. I've still got my shoulders. I've still got my back. But I know a lot of people in their mid-40s struggle to get out of a chair, seriously, because they hit it at 100 mile an hour when they were younger. And I think to myself, no. That's
like
fine.
you said, Chris, and you're right there. You can go into teaching, you can go into supervision, you can go into management. Yeah. You can still stay in the industry that you love.
Yeah.
And you still be part of it. Just there's different routes.
How nice is it to think when we're gone, someone goes, yeah, who's the bloke that taught you? Oh yeah, Andy or Paul or Mark. Do you know what I mean? So
it's your nice legacy to leave behind, isn't it, Chris?
Your name is still being, once you're long gone, and go, oh yeah, this fella taught me. He always told me this, but I listened to him. That's all they got to do, isn't it? Listen.
Mm-hmm. And knowledge and experience is invaluable, though, isn't it? It's
invaluable. You can't buy it. You can't go to the shop and buy it.
No.
Can you? You know what I mean?
What the most expensive tools in the boxing, what's in your head, and these two things.
Well, so I say about muscles, isn't it? You got your arms, you got your back. Once they've gone, they've gone. Start using this one. Yeah. That's the clever way.
Was it a job the other day, and she just said to me, because obviously I don't know what she does, and she says, it's nice to see you not using a plastic trowel. And I thought, she obviously knows a little bit. She says, I've got a friend that's a plasterer. She says, he's 30, he's packed it in. He's gone driving buses because his arms are all gone.
Because he's worn it, he's pushed it too hard. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
But that's the thing. We go back that years ago we never had you haven't got the access to the stuff you've got now. The courses and stuff to take you in them directions where you could stay in it. You were just that was what you did, and when you had to find out all that information for yourself, there's so much out there to help people now to keep them in the industry, to prolong them, to get their skill set back to the younger kids, and the younger generation are on it now. They really are.
So we're on about our bodies. What do we? We'll just skip along this very, very gently. What do we think about the machine plastering? We fans, or what do we think?
I've never really done any of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, joking apart, there's a lot of people that use them. I can see exactly what they're there for. They're, and there will be an evolution of these machines. Like any product, it's going to change from being the big machines to, I dare say, in a few years' time, some a lot more compact. And again, when you see them using the machines on a render, who wouldn't use them?
I know. They're not going to wear out, are they? You just pile the bags in and it pushes it up the hill. Lovely.
It's the primary reason why I don't do any of the modern rendering systems, Chris.
Yeah.
I just don't want to compete at my age, putting it on manually against those boys that are spraying it on.
I'll let you. We compete with them, but we're still knocking it up on the scaffolding with a paddle mixer in a bigger tub.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So we're not. Yeah, I'm not going to get the machines. We're sort of like 50s now. We're not into that. But we can honestly, Mark. Some of these Syncoat renders, I am a big fan. I was always traditional.
We've got paddle mixers down in Devon, Chris.
But and electricity, and cordless. We've got cordless now. We have. Talking of which,
big extension lead from Exeter.
Yeah. We've got a Flex MXE 1600 watt mixer, 2 gear, 240 volt, and a Putz mixing tub in our next competition. I just sort of squeeze that in there then whilst we're talking about tools, and that's kindly supplied by P1, the Plaster's one-stop shop and Plastering Superstore. So we need to think of a question, gentlemen. What question? You take too long. I got one, and it's the easiest question. What is the recommended square meterage per bag of Thistle multi-finish? There you are, nice and simple. Keep it. We don't want to trip people up. So that was from our friends at the Plaster's One Stop Shop, and they're also one pallet of PRB monocouche render. Going back to yourself there, Paul. Modern monocouche plaster. So, Paul, I'm a big fan of yours because you're out there with the commercials. Andy, you're doing domestic, and Mark, you are traditional. Is that right? Sort of
domestic and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
a big fan of mixing it all up together with the highest respect for each system individually. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if I got an old bouncy laugh wall, Mark, I'll use my line putty, but I'll put the external mesh in it to hold it together. Do you see what I mean? On a domestic, not a heritage job.
No.
So I will try and mix it up a little bit.
This is what I was saying earlier, Chris, about putting more feathers in your cap. If you just widen your skill set, because as you get older, you can pick and choose your jobs a bit easier and choose your jobs to suit your age and your body.
If there's one thing I've learned, if you can take a little bit of everyone you ever see plastering and don't comment, don't go, oh, he must be rough. He's putting mesh in his something. Oh, he's using a small trowel. Just watch and learn, okay? But if you can amalgamate it all together, traditional with modern, because as Paul keeps, things are moving on, Paul, aren't they?
And they're hugely moving on. But like you said, if you'll always go back to the historic side because it's all about backgrounds and stuff like that. It's all about what you're taught, and you learn from that. But like you said, sponge, listen to everyone.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone's opinion matters. And then you will go off and you'll learn your own way of doing it, and you'll do things differently from what you were taught by your plasterer.
Yeah.
But always keep learning. No one will ever stop learning.
What's that old saying? every day's a school day.
Yeah.
Mark,
You learn every day.
Andy,
Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah, you do.
in
Every
there.
day.
Do you know what I mean?
And
But
new
when I was
systems, new
Sorry.
products. Brilliant. Sorry, Mark. To learn.
when I was learning with my dad, he'd say, "Clear off and go and learn something off them lot over the other
Yeah.
side of the site," and that
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Because if you've got one master, you're only learning one lot
Yeah.
of tricks, aren't you? And
Yeah.
that's the whole secret of it. But
Yeah, and
it
Mark.
doesn't matter how long you've been in it. You never stop learning. There's always something that will try
Yeah,
and catch you out in plastering.
How
and
long
you'll
did
all
you work for your dad,
and you'll
Mark?
make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
that's the key bit. And you're right, Mark. There, the Deakins were renowned in the Midlands. You were shopped around with them. You know, Stan used to teach you one week, then you'd be with Dumpy and Cowboy Tommy. You'd be with these people, and yeah, that's it. Just listen, sponge, soak up as much as you can.
Yeah,
How long did you work with your dad for, Mark?
10 years. I started from the age of 11, weekend school holidays, and then I was with him for 10 years, and then he passed away at the age of 50.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
So
Sorry, mate.
yeah. So I went self-employed then,
Yeah.
and I picked some of my dad's clients up, and then over the last 40 years, I've just developed my customer base, which, strange as it may seem, I've gone from clients that were dad's age, it'd be like 80 now. I've gone from that client base to their children, which are my age, and now their grandchildren. So I've seen 3 generations of clients that have been referred down the line, and I'm like, wow. And that does make me feel old.
Did you find it hard working with your dad, or?
No, I loved it. I loved it like nothing on earth. I really did. My dad was my hero, and I wanted to be like my dad from being a little grasshopper.
Because obviously me and Tom work together, which we have debatable days.
Yeah.
You know.
But generally, you get on well, don't you?
Yeah, we get on pretty well. Obviously, like I say, I don't see stuff as a problem, so Tom probably does sometimes. So, you know, that's where he comes a little bit stuck. But, you know, I just say to him, just think about it and get over it, and then he's fine, sort of thing. So that, like with Tom, he has to sort of like, if I say it to him, but then he has to realise it first and let it get in his head until, that's a good idea, sort of thing. Like so, but. You know, he's doing. We do well. We have 1 or 2, and that like it's just
and
when I get
also,
phone calls from Jane.
Somewhere down the line, now, Andy, you'll learn something off Tom. He'll do something, and it'll be like that. You know,
he will.
Yeah, it's strange
because he would have learned somewhere else from something. He would have caught because he's more. You know, you're set in your ways. He's still learning. He would have seen something by someone else. Going, Dad, you know, try this. You know, and you go. Oh, okay.
It's like
you know
what we said earlier about experience. It's got there's a new builders in Lincoln that they want us to do some plastering for them. And it's like what I said to Tom the other day, you know, what they could have is like 30 odd years of experience on jobs. You know, I said, you can't buy that. I said, you know, that is a good thing for them because they're starting out new and it'll give them, you know, you'll go to jobs and they don't quite know what to do. And then obviously, like,
you can build that you know that relationship together, isn't it? You say, we do all the boarding. You say, well, actually, we'll take on from your stud work, block work. We'll do the boarding and skimming, and you can sort of get a little package, you know, a nice little repertoire with them, like, you know. I think that's the trick, isn't it?
You see, some people. I did a job the other week, and the guy had he'd dabbed it himself. I scrimmed it and skimmed it, and then you could see cracks in down some of the joints. And he goes, you know, I mean, the dabbing looked all right, but obviously he hadn't got it quite right. But then they try and pull it back onto you.
Well,
but you know, you're only skimming what's there. Like what you said, if you can't see it, you know, you just. But then it comes your problem.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got the winner. The winner of the Flex Mixer Mixing Tub and Pallet of Monocouche Render supplied by Plaster's One Stop Shop and PRB Systems is, that was easy for me to say, William Scotford. Well done, William. You are the winner there. So good lad, good lad. Now, finally, here's your chance to win either a fixed goodie bag or 8 bags of pure finish supplied by British Gypsum. We've got 10 goodie bags on the line and 7 chances to win 8 bags of pure finish. And the question we set ourselves, gentlemen, didn't we? Do you remember what it was? No, you
I know
don't.
this. I do.
Right, go on.
I know this one. Who is the lead singer
Oh,
of the Rolling Stones?
Good mate, remembered.
Yeah.
Well done. The winner will be announced on our letsplasterbetter.com, not this Friday, okay, but on the Plastering Show. So if you go to letsplasterbetter.com, the winner will be announced. And thank you ever so much, gentlemen. Can't thank you enough for joining us.
Before we go, can I just say happy birthday to Bernard Cunningham over in Ireland?
How well do you know it?
Very well.
We'll say his surname like you know it.
I've got somebody else's teeth in.
You've got someone else's teeth in.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Bernard. All the best,
happy birthday,
mate.
Bernard.
All right. It's my mate Max's birthday today, so I wasn't going to say it, but because you said that, happy birthday, Max. Now, gentlemen, what's our our general sort of for the kids to today? Keep learning. A new tool comes out, try it, because in the 30 odd years that I've been plastering, the only thing that's come along really for me is the Flexi and the Speed Skim, and I'm waiting for something else to come along. And now, or should we get together and invent something? Now that would be clever, wouldn't it? So if you guys have a little thought, share it with me.
And have a look.
All right?
Okay.
Oh dear.
I'd hate to know.
Reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it be? Hey, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, no, sorry, I'm a little bit early. Look, so we got 3 minutes. We're going to. So I'm quite confident we've ticked all the boxes here. But anything you for the right? I believe that you can't get enough qualifications, and if I had the chance to go to college, I would have. That's my personal. Andy, your advice.
Oh yeah, I do. With college, I get as much as you can because, like you say, times change, and like what we're saying, how your body sort of can't always take it. Just sort of like go into further things and make life easier. So yeah, I'll be all right.
I was very lucky meeting Tommy. You've met Tommy. The knowledge, and my father-in-law is a tremendous tradesman. Okay, so I had 8 years with Tommy and 8 years with Derek. So I feel like I've done a 16-year apprenticeship with two, and I really genuinely mean this, master craftsmen. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Derek still puts vertical screeds up when he's floating out. Do you see what I mean? So I was very privileged. Very privileged to be on DIY SOS. And I've been very privileged over the years to do the jobs I've done with Tommy. We went to Galway, and me and Tommy rendered Galway Cathedral Dome. A little bit of luck, maybe, but if you're passionate and you believe in something you love, it's endless where it can take you. Is that? Do you believe that?
Oh yeah.
Rather, I didn't just see plastering as a job. I saw it as a subject I would never get to the end because it was too big to learn. Does that make sense? So I started at 17 and I'm still going for it now, and I'm 51.
I think the thing is, Chris, now we're doing things like STEM ambassadors, so we're going into schools. So we're going into to actually speak to younger kids,
No one noticed that, by the way, Andy. No one noticed that. Okay.
13, 14, that that to talk about plastering. Plastering isn't just something you have to do because you don't want to go to college.
No.
Or you don't want to. It's the industry's changed, getting more women involved in the industry. It's actually it is a proper job, and you'll love it. You can go on and earn really good money if you do if you own your own company. You go into site managing. These are good, well-paid professions. It's not the stigma of you're in the construction trade now. It is not. That's why we go out and we speak to the kids and we say, look, some of you will want to do this, and there is going to be hope for our trade. There's a lot of young kids coming up. There's a lot of apprenticeships, a lot of people like Andy and Mark and a lot of our other plasterers that are teaching these kids, and we have to leave something behind. We were taught by people. It's time for us to teach and help them. So that's what we're doing as much as we can.
Gentlemen, we're going to crash out. All right. Thank you very much, Mark, Paul, and Andy, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Do you know what? Let's do this again sometime. Gentlemen.
Cheers. And thank you for everybody.
And don't forget to listen to the Plastering Show on Fixed Radio.
Yes.